We want to bring in Maggie Litt, One America's Maggie Litt, who has been keeping tabs on the GOP debate. Maggie, President Obama recently used executive order, as everybody knows, to enact mandatory background checks on all firearm purchases. What did the candidates have to say about this particular issue this evening?
Well, Mike, there wasn't a candidate on that stage that agreed with the president's push for more gun control. Marco Rubio has been a big defender of the Second Amendment, even taking on Democrats on the issue of banning people on the no-fly list from having guns. Donald Trump said that if the victims in the San Bernardino and Paris attacks were able to defend themselves with firearms, the world would not have watched dozens get slaughtered. And Jeb Bush criticized the federal government's ability to enforce the laws at their disposal.
The FBI made a mistake. The law itself requires a background check, but they didn't fulfill their part of the bargain within the time that they were supposed to do. We don't need to add new rules. We need to make sure the FBI does its job, because that person should not have gotten it.
Several candidates cited the new gun law as another lawless act by the president. Meantime, critics have often accused Trump of fear-mongering and demonizing refugees in a country built off immigration. One of the most talked about moments on Facebook, with over 10 million hits, was when Trump announced his plan to temporarily ban all Muslims from entering the U.S. until officials better understand the capacity and threat posed by our enemy. Here is how he responded to critics tonight.
It's not fear and terror, it's reality. You just have to look today at Indonesia, bombings all over. You look at California, you look frankly at Paris, where there's the strictest no-gun policy of any city anywhere in the world, and you see what happens, 130 people dead with many to follow. They're very, very badly wounded. Some will follow. And you look around and you see what's happening, and this is not the case. When he introduced the doctor, very nice, everything perfect, but that's not representative of what you have in that line of migration. That could be the great Trojan horse. It could be people that are going to do great, great destruction. We owe $19 trillion. Our country's a mess, and we can't let all these people come into our countries and break our borders.
Now, this provoked a response from Jeb Bush, who said Muslim countries are a key ally, and banning an entire group of people sends the wrong message to the world. He said we need to focus more on our vetting programs and enforcing legal immigration.
All right, Maggie, I want to switch gears just a bit. Now, we heard a lot of GOP candidates say we'll repeal all of the President Obama's executive orders on their first day in office. What were the candidates saying tonight about the state of the nation and how it would be different with a Republican in the White House?
Well, Mike, several candidates say the president painted a rosy picture in his State of the Union address Tuesday night, citing the inaccurate unemployment rate, a growing national debt, and America's withering leadership on the international stage. Here's what Rubio had to say.
Because when I become president of the United States, on my first day in office, we are going to repeal every single one of his unconstitutional executive orders. When I'm president of the United States, we are getting rid of Obamacare, and we are rebuilding our military. And when I'm president, we're not just going to have a president that gives a State of the Union and says America's the greatest country in the world. When I'm president, we're going to have a president that acts like it.
Thank you, Senator.
Meantime, Trump responded to Nikki Haley's accusation during the GOP response to the State of the Union address, in which she called Trump an angry voice. Here's what he said.
I'm very angry because our country is being run horribly, and I will gladly accept the mantle of anger. Our military is a disaster. Our health care is a horror show. Obamacare, we're going to repeal it and replace it. We have no borders. Our vets are being treated horribly. Illegal immigration is beyond belief. Our country is being run by incompetent people. And yes, I am angry.
So far, Trump has rode the wave of angry Americans straight to the top of the polls. We'll see if this continues to resonate with Americans heading into the primary and general election.
All right, Maggie, before I let you go, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you think Trump will be able to maintain his lead and capture the Republican nomination.
Well, in One America's latest national poll, Trump was way above the pack at 41% support. So that is a substantial gap between him and number 2, Cruz, at 20%. So judging from what we're looking at right now, it appears that the people have chosen their candidate.
All right, One America's Maggie Litt, thanks you very much. We'll be coming back to you next hour, so stand by.